So for this task, we're doing a fecal sedimentation. So we have all of our supplies. We've got our cheesecloth, something to mix it with, our tube that will be centrifuged, a container to mix things with, and our sample. So we'll start by adding just about 2 grams of our sample to our container. So, like that. And then add that in. Make sure this all gets in to our container. And then to that, we are going to add some tap water. Now we don't want to dilute the sample too much, but we want to make sure that we have enough so that we can, mix it pretty thoroughly. So from here, we'll use our applicator stick, which is just the opposite end of a Q-tip, to mix everything through. We want to make sure that we're getting as much of the sample mixed as possible and that we're not leaving any large particles unmixed. Okay, so from there, we have our container and we have our cheesecloth. So now we're going to strain our mixture through the cheesecloth into our container that we will then spin down. So we'll place the cheesecloth on top here. And then put our sample through. It strains. And then now we have the beginnings of our fecal sediment sample that we are ready to centrifuge. Okay, so now we are going to centrifuge our samples. We actually can do 2 of them at the same time. We can centrifuge the ones for our fecal float and the one for our sediment because they are filled to roughly the same amount and they both need to be centrifuged at the same time and same speed. So we'll put these in for about 3 to 5 minutes and then we'll be ready to prepare them to view under the microscope. So put that on. Make sure that it's running and that it's balanced. Okay, so now we are continuing with our fecal sedimentation. So we will take it out from the centrifuge and we will very carefully pour off the supernate, the water, without disturbing the sediment. And then we will, using our pipette, get a sample and place it onto our slide. And then we'll put our cover slide over it. And it looks like this. We will label it and then we'll take a look at it under the microscope. Okay, so now we are examining our fecal direct smear under the microscope. We've made sure that it's properly labeled with our patient's name and ID and that the cover slip is on. So we'll turn our microscope on and then kind of just get it centered on low power. From low power you can see kind of various debris. You can see kind of small circles that you don't want to mistake for ova when they could actually be air bubbles. So once we take a look on low power, get it all set, And then we want to examine our slide in a kind of zigzag pattern where we start at one side, go all the way, go down a field, and then go all the way back. So we're making sure we're not missing any spaces and that we're not going over the same space more than once. So, yeah, okay. We'll switch to 10 power.
Give her a hey.
We'll let our doctor go into her exam room so we're not halting her job in progress.
Hello.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing well.
Okay, and now we'll continue examining our slide. So, we have it under our 10 power. We want to make sure that we get it focused. There we go. Okay, so from here, we'll start going across our slide in our zigzag pattern. And so far, just seeing some debris, a couple of circles that to me look like air bubbles. But for anything suspicious, we would always have someone else check for us. And then, let's see, go down to our next level. Again, there are a couple of spots, even just on 10 power, that look a little bit suspicious. So we'll make sure when we're finished looking at 10 power, when we go to our 40 power, we'll take a closer look there. Okay, so now we'll start at our top part again. We'll move to our higher power, and then
I prefer to just monitor it, but it hasn't gotten any bigger than that. In fact,
get ourselves focused again.
yeah.
I'm trying to monitor it or to.
Star.
So, if you
There we go.
everyone else is doing well, he doesn't need
So this is where we'll be able to see kind of our more definitive ova parasites. So look through. And it looks like on closer examination, the circles that we saw are air bubbles and not actually ova. But again, we will have a doctor take a look just to double check. And we want to make sure again that we're following our zigzag pattern so that we are not missing any spots. Okay. So now that we've examined it, we will record our findings in the record, and then if we had any suspicions of any abnormalities, we'd have our DVM double checking.